Hello friends, welcome to Note Code. Today we will be discussing about the concept of Java polymorphism along with the Java coding example. What is polymorphism? Polymorphism is an OOPS concept that defines a method can do different things in different ways, means having different forms. In Java, there are two ways to achieve polymorphism. First, method overloading. Second, method overriding. Method overloading. Overloaded methods let you reuse the same method name in a class but with different arguments. Rules for method overloading. Overloaded methods must change the argument type. Overloaded methods can change the return type. Overloaded methods can change the SS modifier. Overloaded methods can declare new checked exception. This is also known as compile time polymorphism. Method overriding. If there is a class that inherits a method from a superclass that is parent class, you have the opportunity to override the method. Rules for Java method overriding. Overridden methods must have same name and same parameter as in parent class. Overridden method must be an is-a relationship. This is also known as runtime polymorphism. Point to note, you cannot override a method marked final or static. If a method can't be inherited, you cannot override it. Let us understand method overloading and method overriding with Java example. So friends, this is our project structure. So we'll right click here and we will create a new package. Let's say package name is polymorphism. So inside this package, what will I do? I'll create a new class. So we will understand method overloading and method overriding. First, let's start with method overloading. So I will create a class called calculator. So friends, I have created a class calculator. What calculator class will have? Let me consider it simple add method. So I'll just write public void add. Okay, simple add method. So I'm creating two variables here. These are, let's say 20 and int b equal to 10. Okay, what I will do, I'll just print them both their sum. Okay, now what my requirement is, I have already created a add method. Okay, and it is taking two variables a and b and printing their sum. Now what I want to create another add method to do float sum. What I will do, can I create this method again like this? So when I write this public void add method again and click on this, so it will say duplicate method add in type calculator. So it's saying duplicate method add is already present here, you cannot create. So now what I can do is I can change the argument type. Okay, you can say int and float day. So now it is showing no error. Okay, fine. So now what I will do, I'll just print this sum. Okay, and let me create another add method. Okay, it will show the similar error. So now what I'll do, let me provide three parameters here. And float g. Okay, I have provided three arguments. Okay, and what I'll do, I'll just print the sum of these three. Okay. Okay. So now friends, what we are doing here is I have created an add method. Now I am overloading add method by changing the argument type. Okay, I have overloaded add method first by overloading it in this way. Now I have again used the add method. I have overloaded with three arguments. So this is the concept of overloading. You can use the method again and again, method name again and again by changing the argument type. Okay. So now how I will assess these three add methods. Okay. So how I will assess these three add method? By creating the object of cal class. So I'm creating another class here, main class. Okay. I'll create the object of calculator. Cal is equal to new calculator. Okay. Now cal is the reference variable, and this statement says that new object or new memory has been allocated to calculator class. So this reference variable refers to the object of calculator. Now if I write cal dot, so as soon as I do cal dot, it will show me all the methods that are available in the calculator class. Okay, so it is showing me add with no argument type, add with 2 arguments type, add with 3 arguments type. So one by one I will use them. Add with no argument type. Okay, now cal dot add with 2 arguments type. So see, it is asking me C and D because I have mentioned here int C and float D. So the C has to be of int type and D has to be of the float type. So C I'll provide say 2 and I have to provide float. So I'll write 5 dot. Okay. Now similarly cal dot. Okay, this third method. So here I have used 3 parameters, 3 arguments, float E, F, and G. So it is giving me E, F, G. So these all 3 have to be float type. One by one we will do the same. We'll provide them the variable. Okay. Okay, now what we have done, we have called all the method via reference variable. So this add method is going to call this one add method. This add method having 2 argument will call this method. Okay, pay attention. This will not call this method. Okay, to add, because Java knows which method to call. Okay, so and this method will call the method with 3 argument type. Let me run this. It will show me demo cal. Okay, run. So the output is generated. 30 is generated from add. 7.0 is generated from this method, and 13 dot is generated from this method. So this is the example of method overloading. We have overloaded add method twice by changing the argument type, which is a must condition. You can also change the return type. I have used void here. You can use int, and int, as soon as you do int, it will ask for any return statement. So what you will give them, you will write a return statement, say return B. It will work perfectly. So you'll just run it. It's running perfectly, no issue, right? So similarly, you can change. No issue in this. Now we will begin with. Okay, so this is the example of method overloading, and this is also known as compile time polymorphism because Java knows which method to call by checking the method signature. Okay, this is also known as compile time polymorphism or static binding. So now let me create a new class, say company. Okay. And here we will understand what method overriding is. So company is a class, so company will have a method, say it will have a salary, it will distribute salary to its employee. Public void salary. So let's say it has a method, say salary method in company class. Salary method inside the company class. I have created a method inside the company class. So Now let me create another class, say employee. Employee work under company. So employee. Now employee will have a salary method. Each employee will have different salary. So we will extend. What we will do? We will extend. Sorry. We will extend company. So now employee is the child class and company is the parent class. So employee will inherit the properties of company class. So the method salary can be used in employee class as well. So what I'll do, I'll just copy this. Okay. Now salary in company class, I will override this method. Overriding means I'm changing it. So okay, I'll change according to my need. So let's say employee salary is, say, now what is happening here? Employee is inheriting the properties of company class, so employee will be able to use the method. Now how we will assess this salary method? How do we assess the salary method? By creating an object of that class. Let's say, okay, main. So what I will create, let me show you. Company, CMP, new, excuse me, company. Okay. Now what I have done, I have created the object of company class here. So as soon as I do COMP dot, it will show me the salary method under the company class. So I'll call this method. Now let me make a company py is equal to new. Okay. Now what I do, I use this reference variable to call the. Now look, salary is coming from employee, salary is coming from company class, okay? But I am overriding it inside the employee class. So I'll call this. So this salary is called by using the reference variable of employee class. Now, why the overriding is called runtime polymorphism? Because at the runtime, JVM decide which company, which class object is created. So if the object of company's class is created and we are using the reference of company class to assess the method, it will display the company class salary method. Okay. At the runtime, it is decided which class object is created or it's invoked. Now let me check the output. Okay, so here let me run this configuration and say try and run. So what is happening here? See, this is calling the method inside the company class. Okay, com.salary is calling the method declared inside the company class, and this is calling the method that is being overridden by employee. So salary method is overridden by employee class because employee is the child class of company. So employee has salary is this. So now this is the concept of overriding, and overriding is also called dynamic binding, and it is also called runtime polymorphism. Thank you friends for watching this video. For further updates, kindly like, comment and subscribe our channel.